Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Disco Kitty, the Crappy Crafter. So, last week we made this. With a shitty little kit from Five Below. I mean, it's a $5 resin kit, so I shouldn't have expected more. I just wanted these to be closer together so that they actually looked like the box. But, I hate it. But I love the resin. I just hate all of this wood. So today we're going to paint it and try to make it better. Let's see if we can. Okay, let's get right into this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tape up all of the exposed resin. And then I will, cut the tape until it, matches each shape. There will, of course, be a lot of fixing the tape so that I don't have to use too much. I couldn't find my actual masking tape. I have some somewhere. It's 2 inches wide. It would have been perfect, but I have no idea where it is. I have no idea where anything is in this room. This room is a mess. I need to hire someone to come and help me organize because I can't do it. Alright, here I am. I'm going to cut the tape. And the way I'm doing it here kind of makes sense, but it doesn't work all the way through. I can find the edges on most of the edges, but the place where I left it wasn't exactly as level as I thought it was. And yeah, the resin isn't as level as it probably should be. But you know what? That's okay. Because you're not really going to see it anyways. I mean, who's going to see this? Once it's done here, it's just probably gonna go sit on a shelf somewhere. Okay, now with all of those cut and ready to go, it's time for some paint. Yeah, I probably should have put down some kind of a primer or base coat, but honestly, I was so disappointed with this. I didn't really want to waste it anyways. I do end up putting 2 coats on, and this is not black, this is a space gray. It's a very dark gray, it's a very nice gray. Both of these makeup sponge packages came from the Dollar General because I couldn't find my package of sponges. I have some somewhere in this room. I don't know where. I'm tearing off little pieces so that it is uneven and not like perfectly round or perfectly square as the other ones would have been. Titanium white. And this is where the galaxy starts. I start with a base layer of white so that the other colors can pop on top of it. This sponge wasn't quite as nice as I was hoping it would be. It was a lot more dense than I was expecting, which is good for a makeup sponge. I mean, yeah, that's a good makeup sponge from Dollar General. I was surprised. Gonna use a little blue. A lot more blue than that, of course. And of course, this is sped up quite a bit. And I should have waited between layers. Like, when I did the black, I waited like a whole 24 hours. When I did the white and then went straight into the blue, I shouldn't have done that because some of the white came back up. As you can tell there in the center of that blue stripe. Here I'm just knocking off some of the extra paint so it doesn't muddy up the purple. Sponge, sponge, sponge. And I am using 2 different sponges on this. I decided to use the small green one to kind of help even out some of the splotches that I didn't really want. It's not quite as smooth as I was hoping, but I like it nonetheless. So this silver paint, I'm just using a little dotting tool to put on little stars. And this dotting tool also has a little itty bitty tiny detail brush, like a micro brush. And I'm using that to put little, like, twinkles. And here we are. This is the best part. This was the most satisfying part of the whole thing. I enjoyed this immensely. I loved taking the tape off. It was very, very satisfying. And I'm going to make you watch the whole thing, except, you know, sped up. But it's very satisfying. Watching all of these sections come to life is very nice. And there it is. I don't hate it. Well, that's that. I realized while I was editing the video that I had never made an outro, so here's the outro. So here it is, all said and done. I mean, I think it looks better. Just these little spots of color and the rest of this wood-colored frame, just, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't nice. This is okay. Like I said, it's just it's a lot better than it was, and that's all that matters. Like I said, the resin was probably worth $5. This board was definitely not. If they had kept the spaces the same size and just brought them all closer together so they had little tiny gaps in between them, that would have been fine. But, you know, or you could paint it with your own paint because it wasn't supplied, because it wasn't part of the kit. But, you know, overall, it's okay. I don't mind it. $5. It was alright. As long as you paint it afterwards, it'll be okay. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for coming, and we'll see you again next week. Stay safe.